Hi children, welcome to Eclit Learn. So this is grade 9 workbook playlist and this is the chapter 5. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, there are separate video playlists from grade 6 onwards, and separately we have two playlists for each grade, like grade 6 textbook, grade 6 workbook, like that. So this is a grade 9 workbook playlist. So if you haven't watched my theory or textbook videos for grade 9 chapter 5, please pause this video and go to that particular video and watch it first, because I would prefer you study a computer network theory part first, and then you try these activities by yourself, and then please come back and watch this video, because please don't just copy the answers from the video and write, because then you are not going to get anything from this, right? Okay, let's start. So this is activity 5.1. Identify the main components in the school's network. With the assistance from your teacher, inspect the computers in the computer laboratory and identify those that are networked and the devices and how they are connected. That means whether it's wired or wireless connections. So you have to do this investigation by yourself, right? Complete the table below with information collected from the computers and devices in the computer laboratory. So this is a sample answer. So your answers will be definitely different, because, for example, here I have told, okay, I have 20 computers in my lab with wired connections, right? Like that. So do you have server computers? Do you have switches? Do you have routers, printers, scanners, multimedia projectors? So everything will be depend on your computer lab at school, right? I know some schools, when it is rural areas, they even don't have like one computer, at maybe just one computer in the computer lab itself, right? So you should prepare this by yourself according to your lab specifications, right? But functions, yeah, this is a common thing. For example, we use computers for the user requirement fulfillment, right? And server computers are basically acting as like the main computer of the network, which will be providing services and the resources for the network. Switches, it's to connect network devices. We know switches and hub, there are two different things, but switches are more intelligent comparatively, right? And routers are used to connect to internet, printers to print, scanners to scan the documents, and multimedia projectors are used to project the same output from a computer to a wide screen, right? So these things are common, but the this part will be different from this answer, right? Definitely. Activity 5.2. Given below is a block diagram of a computer network showing how the computer and the devices are connected. So here they have given you some computer, switch, router, printer, internet, and a server, right? So you have to identify the hardware to match the code given, indicate the current code of the hardware in the diagram above. Now, these things, these are few computers. Right? C1, C2, C3, like that, I have put the computers. So, all these computers are connected basically to a switch. So, switch is used to connect devices to the network, right? So, for the same switch, printer and server, you can actually interchange this if you want. So, these two are connected to the switch itself. And then this is the internet. Usually, we denote the cloud as the internet. And internet and switch is actually connected using a router. So, router is used to connect to the internet. Right? So, that is how you should fill up this diagram. Next one. Activity 5.3. Select the most suitable word from those in the box to fill the blanks in the statements 1 to 10 given below. Right? So we have about few answers, like I think about 10. Yeah, we'll see more than 10. Yes. Server, wired, networking system, fiber optics, cables, internet, computer network, communication, resources, social networks, wireless, Wi-Fi, instant messaging. So I believe you know all these words, right? Because if you don't know any of these words, please go back to the textbook videos and watch it first, right? First one, interconnection between and among people or a number of systems is identified as a network. So, you know, if few people get together, we call it as a network, right? So, LinkedIn, there's a separate network of professionals, right? Like that. So, no need to be computer itself. Connecting together two or more computers and peripherals, that is a computer network, right? The main aim of networking computer is for communication and to share resources. So those are the main two objectives actually. A benefit in computer networking is the facility to use the social network. So there are so many benefits or services provided by the computer networks like www, instant messaging, social networks, email, right? So many benefits. So social networks is one of the benefits. There are two types of media to connect computers. They are wired and wireless connections. Hope you know. Wireless computers use what technology? Wi-Fi technology. Instant messaging enables communication among users in a network. So, you know, to communicate with each other, we can use instant messaging or emails as a communication tools, right? The server enables connect printers, files, and software for sharing purpose. So, server is the one mainly acting as the main thing, so which is providing all the resources and the services. Modern day computers also have built-in facilities for what? Networking systems, right? I think there's nothing matching other than that, yes. I used to connect computers for networking. Actually, we can write cables or fiber optics. Both are used to connect computers for networking and both are wired connections. Fiber optics and cables. We have the cables word also here. So you can use both are correct. Activity 5.4. Select from B the most suitable expression to match each expression in A. Write the number of matching expression in the blank alongside the B. Right? RJ45. You know that is a port to connect cables in a wired networking. So here you should write 1. Main objective of computer networking. Communication and sharing resources, isn't it? So basically communication. Third one. Command line interface. Okay. Yeah, CLI we learn in networking. It's actually graphical kind of, now we have graphical user interfaces and command line interfaces. That's the interface actually, where users can interact. So here in networking chapter, hope you can remember in the last part we learn, okay, we can send message using CLI. Fourth one, allows for direct and efficient communication between the computers in the network and the peripherals, right? So that is the switch. And switch is more intelligent one, actually. Bluetooth, used for wireless connection between computer devices, right? You know what is Bluetooth. It's a very nearby devices you can connect uh, for the wireless connections. The computer that provide the central access to resources. So that is the server, central place, is used as a medium in computer networking. So you know about fiber optics and twisted pair cables, right? So those are mediums used for the communication. Eighth one, router. Router is to connect the network to the internet. Connecting one computer network to another network or to the internet. So network to network connection happens with the help of router, right? Is a benefit of networking computers. ability to store important information in a folder in the internet, like cloud computing, right? You don't have to physically keep most important things in one place. You can have it in a centralized place. Is used as a medium. Sorry. An interconnected group of people, items, or system is a network. Yeah, interconnected anything. So we call it as a network. Activity 5.5. So here they are going to talk about how to share a folder, right? So they are asking you to consider an instance of sharing pictures, lessons, photos, anything like among your friends. So to make it easy, what they do is they create a folder, right, called students files, and then they copy all the relevant things, right? So I will take an existing folder itself and show you, right? So then they are going to share this particular folder in the network, right? So before that, you have to go for the control panel, right? Yeah, hope you can keep the textbook other side. Yeah, so I hope you can refer the textbook by yourself, right? I will use the other screen. So here they're asking to open the control panel and go for this network and sharing center. And then go for change advanced sharing settings. And here they are asking you to turn um, the private section. They're asking you to turn on this, turn on network discovery and turn off file. This one you can make it as true, right? And save changes. Then they're asking you to go to that particular folder, right? So I will take any folder from like this textbook one if I want. So I select a video and then right click on, select a folder. So then I right click and then I go for the properties. So in there we have something called sharing and then you go for share, right? So here, for example, you can select like everyone, right? Or you can specifically find somebody and then you can add it, right? For example, you can give read write permissions, right? If you want, and then you are done with it, right? So this is the particular URL. So you can nicely share this with your friends so that they can actually access those location, right? Hope that is clear for this activity 5.5. So now anybody can access this particular thing because I gave the permission for everybody. Next, activity 5.6, right? Sharing printer. So by sharing a printer allows any user in the network to send files from his or her computer to directly to the printer for the printing. However, the printer has to be configured for this purpose, right? So what they asking you to do is, right, you should have the admin account for all these things what you are doing. So here also they're asking again, go to the control panel, and then select the devices and printers, right? And then you can select the relevant printer, right? And then right click on it and go for the printer properties. So you, yeah. So then go over the sharing. So share this printer, and you can change the name if you really want, right? So this is the share name of the printer, right? Then you can make it okay. So yeah, this completes the process to access the printer in the network, and everyone in the network now can search this particular printer by its name and use it. It's shared among the whole network. 5.7 Communication through computer networks. A user in a computer network can communicate with another user in the same network, and any user can also receive a message from any user in the network. In this, sending messages using CLI, command line interfaces, or connect line interfaces we can call. Consider sending the message, "Hello, how are you?" to other users in the network using CLI in Windows. Let us send this message to another machine. So for that, what you have to do is you have to open up the command prompt in the admin mode, right? So they have told you how to do is you have to actually you can go to the run, or in the search itself you can just type CMD, right? And then you have to open it up, right click, and you have to run as admin, right? Then you will get the command line interface like this, right? Okay, so in the admin mode, yeah, administrator mode should be there. Type message command on command line interface. Type username to collect the message. Type the message and press enter. The message will be sent to the user. The steps given below shows the process to send and receive messages. Remember to give correct username and correct message. Let us try sending a message. Right? So you should have a list of numbers first of all. Right? Assume that the message is "Hello, how are you?" and the username of the receiver is student1. The system of using the message command is message, username, message. The correct message you have to tell. MSG is a kind of a keyword, so you should have it as it is. Therefore, in the command line, you need to type message MSG, and you have to write the username, and then you are telling the message. "Hello, how are you?" Other is the message. The command username and message require space in between. So you can understand that. So here we have spaces, right, to do the separation. So here I cannot fully show it and do because here I'm messaging to another computer in the network. So in your school computer lab, teacher will know these two computers are connected, network. So ask from her and get two devices, and then finally, right, if you type this and enter, what will happen is you will get this kind of pop-up. Okay. So activity 5.8, right? So same thing, but in this case, now you want to send this particular message to all the users in the network, right? So the same message command is used in this case. In the previous activity, you should use the username of the receiver student 1 after the MSG command. However, in here, instead of one user, what we are putting is we put star, right? Star means all, right? So now the new command is MSG. It's a kind of a keyword. And then username. So instead of username, you put a star for the wedding, right? So therefore, the new message will be like MSG star and the message, "Hello, how are you?" So you have to type similarly. You have to do this in the command line interface and see whether that particular message is going or not. The activities were all with Windows 10 system. If you are using Windows 7 or those below it, type netset. See, if you're using Windows 7, these commands will be a bit different, right? Yeah. So that is actually the end of chapter 5, the workbook activities. So in this chapter, actually, we learned a lot of things. And thanks for listening. And if you haven't still subscribed my channel, please do subscribe and like it, dislike it, and please add a comment if you learned something, if you got good marks for this chapter, if anything I can improve. So you can definitely comment, right? So thank you very much.